So, good morning to all of you. Today we are going to see the next chapter, that is chapter 5, and it is about water. And in last chapter, we discuss about the air, the percentage of air that are found in our environment, our atmosphere, and also we discuss about different type of winds and weather and climates and different type of layers uh, of the atmosphere, that is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere, where ionosphere is one more important layer that help us to in communication system, and the final layer, that is exosphere. And after that we also discuss about cyclones, and also we discuss about the types of rainfall, three types of rainfall: cyclonic rainfall, or orographic rainfall, and convectional rainfall. And then we discussed about moisture, what is moisture. And now today we are going to discuss about water. Terre Terrarium. It is an artificial enclosure of keeping small houses plant. Hmm. When you think of water, what images come to your mind? You think of rivers, the waterfalls, the pitter patter of the raindrops. Water is your taps. Children love to float paper boat in rain puddles. By noon, the puddles vanish. Where does the water go? The sun heat causes evaporation of the water into vapor. When the water vapor cools down, it condenses and forms clouds. From there, it may fall on the land or sea in the form of rain, snow, or sleet. The process by which water continually changes its form and circulates between oceans. Atmosphere and land is known as the water cycle. Our earth is like a terrarium. The same water that existed centuries ago still exists today. The water used to irrigate a field in Haryana may have flowed down the Amazon River and 100 years ago. The, the major source of the fresh water are the rivers, ponds, springs, and the glaciers. The ocean's body and the seas contains salty water. The water of the oceans is salty or saline, as it contains large amount of dissolved salt. Most of the salt is sodium chloride or the common table salt that we eat. There is activity. Make your own terrarium. Fill 1/4 of the big jar with the soil and press it well. Put a teeny layer of humus on top of it. Plants the largest plants first, and then arrange the smaller ones around them. Spray the arrangement with the water and close the closure. The water that evaporate from the leaves and soil condenses and falls back in the form of drops of water. So now we're going to see distribution of water. We all know that 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered by water. If there is more water than land on this earth, why do so many countries face water crisis? it all the water on the earth available to us. The following table gives the distribution of the water in percentage. In oceans, almost 97.3% water is found. In the ice format, 2%. Groundwater, 0.6%. Fresh water in the lakes, that is 0.009%. Uh, in land, seas, and salt lakes, 009. And atmosphere, 0019. And rivers, 0001. Do you know salinity is the amount of salt in the grams percentage in 1000 gram of water? The average salinity of the oceans is 35 part of the 1000. Do you know uh, did sea in Israel has salty of 340 grams per liter of water. Swimmers can float in it because the increased salt content make make it dense. Water distribution can be demonstrated by the simple activity. See activity box. Activity is what? Take a 2 liter of water, let it represent the total water on the surface of the earth. Measure out 12 spoons of the water from these vessels into another bowl. This water that it left behind in the vessels represent the salty water found in the oceans and seas. This water is obviously not fit for consuming. It is saline, contains salt. The 12 spoons of the water that was taken in a bowl is the total amount of fresh water on earth. The figure shows us the distribution of this fresh water. See for yourself how much water can actually be used by you. Water is obviously essential for survival. Water alone can uh, quench our thirst when we are thirsty. Now, don't you think we are wasting a precious resource when use water carelessly? What is Why is water important for us? There are several, not it is the most essential because without water we can't uh, survive or can't do any action or any activity or any big deal on the earth. Suggest some ways in which water can be conserved in your home, in your schools. uh, Home, we conserve, not conserve, but conserve in the format of little digged places, and also by using or harvesting the not anywhere used in the plain area because it is easy to access any water, clean water, fresh water to drink. So that's why people don't harvest the water, the rainwater and any other type of water. The ocean circulation. Firstly, we will decide what. Do you know March 2022 is celebrated as World Water Day. March 2020 22 March 22 is celebrated as World Water Day when need to conserve water is reinforced in different ways. Oceans circulation. There is something magical about walking bare feet on the seashore, the wet sand on the beach, the cool breeze, the seabirds, the smell of the salt in the air, and music of the waves. Everything is so fascinating, unlike the calm waters of the ponds and lakes. Ocean's water keeps moving continuously. It is never still. The movements that occurs in oceans can be broadly categorized as waves, tides, and currents. Do you know waves are formed when winds scrape across the ocean surface? The stronger the wind blows, the bigger the wave becomes. Waves. When you are playing through throw ball on the beach and the ball fall in the water, what happens? It is fun to watch how the ball gets washed back to the shore by the waves. When the water on the surface of the oceans rises, rises and falls alternately, they are called waves. During a storm, the winds blowing at a very high speed from huge waves. There may cause tremendous destruction and earthquake. A volcanic eruption or underwater landslides can shift a large amount of ocean's water as the result of a huge tide wave called tsunami that may be a high as 15 meter. It is formed. The largest tsunami ever measured was 150-meter high. These waves travels at the speed of more than 17 km per hour. The tsunami of the 2004 caused widespread damage in the coastal area of the India. The Indira Point is the Andaman Nicobar island got submerged after the tsunami. Tsunami is a Japanese word that means harbor waves, as harbors get destroyed whenever there is tsunami. Tsunami, the Earth's pandemonium. Tsunami or harbor waves struck havoc in the Indian Ocean on the 6th December 2004. The wave was result of the earthquake that had epicenter close to western boundary of Sumatra. The magnitude of the earthquake was 9.0, the Richter scale. As the Indian plate went under the Verma plate, there was a sudden movement of the sea floor, causing the earthquake. The ocean's floor was displaced by about 10 to 20 meter and tilted in the downwardly direction. A huge mass of ocean's water floated to fill the gap that was being created by the displacement. This marks the withdrawal of the water mass for the coastline of the land masses in the South and Southeast Asia. After thrusting of the Indian plate below the Verma plate, the water mass rushed back towards the coastline. Tsunami traveled at the speed of about 18 km per hour, comparable to speed of commercial aircraft, and completely wasted away some of the island in the Indian Ocean. The Indira Point in the Andaman Nicobar Island that marked the southernmost point of the India got completely submerged. As the wave as the wave moved from earthquake epicenter from Sumatra towards the Andaman island, the Sri Lanka, the wave length decreases with decreasing depth of the water. The travel speed also declined from 700 to 900 kilometer per hour, or less than 70 kilometer per hour. Tsunami waves travels up to depth of 3 kilometer for the coast, killing more than uh, 10,000 people and affected more than lakhs of houses in India. The western affected were coastal area of the Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Pondicherry, and the Andaman and Nicobar Island. While the earthquake cannot be predicted in the advance, it is possible to give a 3-hour notice of the potential tsunami. Such earlier warning systems are in the place across the Pacific Ocean but not in the Indian Ocean. Tsunami are rare in the Indian Ocean as the seismic activity is less as compared to the Pacific. The tsunami that ravaged the South and Southeastern Asia coast in December 2004. It is the most devastating tsunami in the latest several hundred years. The largest damage caused to life property was primarily a result of lack of monitoring. The yearly warning system and the knowledge amount the coast dwellers of Indian Ocean. The first indi- indication that tsunami is approaching in the rapid withdrawal of water from the coastal region followed by destructive wave. When this happened on the coast, instead of people going to high ground, they started assembling at the coast of Diu Miracle. As a consequence, there was a large cause, causality of curious onlookers when the gigantic wave struck tides. The rhythmic rise and fall of ocean's water twice in the day is called tide. It is high tide when water covers much of the shore by rising to its highest level. It is low tide when water falls to its lowest level and recedes from the shore. The strong gravitational pull extended by sun and the moon on the earth's surface cause the tides, which strong gravitational pull. The water of the earth closer to the moon gets pulled under the influence of the moon's gravitational force and cause high tide. During the full moon and the new moon days, the sun and moon and earth are in the same line. And the tides are highest. These tides are called spring tides. But when the moon is in the its first and the last uh, quart, the ocean's waters get drawn in diagonally opposite direction by the gravitational pull of the sun and moon, resulting in low tides. These tides are called neap tides. High tides help in navigation. They raise the water level close to the source. This helps to ships to arrive at the harbor more easily. The high tide also helps the fishing. Many more fishes come closer to the shore during the high tide. This enables fishermen to get a plentiful catch. This rise and fall of water due to the tide is being used to generate electricity in some places. Activity: fill 3 or 4 of the basket with tap water. Heat the water by putting an immersion rod and or on one side of the bucket. On the other side, introduce an ice tray. Just remove from the frozen. Add a drop of red ink to observe that path of the current by the process of the convection. Oceans currents. Oceans currents are a stream of water flowing continuously on the ocean surface in definite directions. The ocean's currents may be warm or cold. Generally, the warm ocean's currents originate near the equator and move towards the poles. The cold currents carry water from polar or higher latitudes to tropical or lower latitudes. The Labrador Ocean's current is colder current, while the Gulf Stream is warmer current. The ocean's current influence the temperature condition of the area. Warm currents bring about warm temperature over the land surface. The areas where the warm and the cold currents meet provide a best fishing ground of the world. Seas around Japan and the eastern coastal of the North America and the South and such example, the areas where a warm and cold current meet also experience experience foggy weather, making it difficult for navigation. Answer the following. What is a precipitation? What is precipitation? Have you any idea about this? Precipitation is nothing but a type of snowing, raining, and sleeting, falling of sleet. Rain is also a type of precipitation. We can say also it's a form of cycle of transfers it one form to another form, and it happens in a cycle format. So the element that follows this cycle we can show the precipitate, and this process can be called as precipitation. Water. What is water cycle? Water cycle is same the cycle which followed is followed to restore the water for drinking or for the land beings is called as water cycle. The water goes in the oceans again by vaporizing and by making vapors. They make clouds again. They make clouds and become rain, come to the land. By land they vaporize, and some are went to the rivers, and through the rivers they goes to the oceans, and again they come to the ground by making clouds. What are the factors affecting the height of the waves? Height of the waves affected by mostly winds and some also gravitational force or gravitational pulls that were imposed by the moon and sun. Which factor affect the movement of the ocean's water? Mostly we can say the gravitational pulls forced by the moon and sun. What are the tides and how are they caused? Tides are the same phenomenon when the water of the um, water or wave of the oceans uh, get raised and uh, fall again, and this process happens due to the uh, mainly several reasons. It may be the reason the earthquake in the ocean's plate, and also it may be by the cause of gravitational pull by the moon and suns. So these are the two regions. What are oceans currents? Oceans current are the current that flow in the oceans, and it is very helpful for the fishing manner, for the generating electricity, and mostly for the um, sailors who uh, travels or make trades in the oceans. Gibbs regions. Ocean waters are salty because they contain lots of minerals. The quality of water is detouring. I don't know about this, so I will check it later. Take the correct answer. The process by which water continuously changes its form and circulates between the oceans and atmosphere and land is called water cycle. Generally, the warm oceans current origin near equator because the position of the sun is always or most of the time is towards equator, not poles. The rhythmic rise and the fall of the ocean's water twice in the day is called tide. Match the following: Caspian Sea, side tsunami, ocean's current, largest lake. So Caspian Sea. Periodic rise and fall of the strong seismic waves, ocean's current, streams of the water moving along the definite paths. Definite paths, we can call it ocean current again, water cycle. I don't know by which we can check it. Then there is a fun activity that can be a detective. The name of the river is hidden in each of the sentence below. Spot it. For example, Mandariya, Vijaya, Lakshmi, and the Surindre are my best friend. Ravi. So here is Ravi. So similar to this, we can find the other rivers name. Like in the first, we can find. Oh, Brahmaputra, Brahmaputra, Padma, 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 Padma. Not Padma, what is known as? I am able to find it. So I will later check it and I will counter this fun activity. So that's all I for today.